Good afternoon, Poonam. Good to see you. This is part 2 of the pain body in others. And I'm going to read this again because it's his definition of the pain body that he gave in an interview with Kathy Julene. The pain body is my term for the accumulation of old emotional pain that almost all people carry in their energy field. I see it as a semi-autonomous psychic entity. It consists of negative emotions that, when not faced, accepted, and then let go in the moment they arose. These negative emotions leave a residue of emotional pain, which is stored in the cells of the body. There's also a collective human pain body containing the pain suffered by countless human beings throughout history. The pain body has a dormant stage and an active stage. Periodically, it becomes activated, and when it does, it seeks more suffering to feed on. I'm going to stop right there because let's say now that person that's feeding, their pain body is feeding, not who they are, and they're in front of you, and they're deeply identified, and they're unconscious. We can't say when they're going to start cracking the shell of their ego or when that will start happening to them. But here it is, it's in front of you. So in any situation, Eckhart says we have 3 choices. We can accept the situation, change the situation, or leave the situation. So it may be a case where we get up and we go. And there may be cases where we stay with it, where it's someone that we've seen them without their pain body, and it's easy to love them through a space like that. Ram Dass said that when he was working with people, he would hold any instruction and just hold the space with them, and not identify with the story, but certainly identify with the intensity of their pain. So the paradox is that everything is true and everything is not true. So moving into what's true for them and being with them in the truth of the emotions as they arise and the reactivity, and be there as an empty vessel, sparkling, translucent bowl of emptiness, so that the ripples of their pain body can just pass right through, are empty, not personal. So let's say the pain body is attacking you, and it's saying, you did this thing that was unholy and wrong. Ooh. It's right up there. So you might want to leave that situation, or you may want to sit with it, or you may want to go with it. You may be right. You may be right. You may be right. So if we respond in a loving way, sometimes it's misunderstood as playing with it. So everything is really in our impulse and the purity of that impulse. So if we're saying you may be right, and we don't really know that, right? In their view, they are right. But if it doesn't matter, then we can just let that go, just drop it immediately. So again, if we sit and we total forgiveness, we know that they've been overtaken by this, what does Eckhart call it? A semi-autonomous psychic entity consisting of negative emotions. They don't even see that it's there. Then all we can do really is to create a space for that to happen, or to get up and walk away, right? Or to say, can we revisit this later? Right? Check any reactivity that's happening in us that wants to correct it, to make it right, to correct their view of this form that they see us as, in the form that they see us in that moment, right? And so let me just come back here. The pain body is a dormant stage and an active stage. One thing I noticed in myself and in others is how the pain body comes and goes, and it has a rhythm to it, almost like every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every other day for this one. And there's also major themes and patterns of behavior. So it might be the complaining mind as the victim, right? Or the pain body that's angry, and a lot of that anger is placed in outside of them, unfair organizations or people or situations. So if you can be there as the presence and just let it pass, just let that pass right through. My experience with people, if that are having a pain body attack, we drop it, they drop it. It just goes away very quickly. You don't avoid it. I say if the top, whatever the topic is, you address it from your heart. I can tell you the things to say, but if the impulse isn't there, if the clarity inside of you isn't clear that this is an insane outburst, this is insanity, and that this is not the person, that they're not always this way, and we're going to give it some loving kindness and space. So really, there's so many different ways that the pain body can show up in front of us. It can be somebody passive aggressively, no raised voices or name calling, or just manipulating a pain body. Victim, being the victim.